Okay students, we'll complete the radiation chapter today. And you know that radiation is what? The emission of energy as electromagnetic waves. So the energy emits from any of the substances in the form of electromagnetic waves, we call that as a radiation. And there are so many examples for the radiation, like ultraviolet light from sun, heat from a stove burner, x-rays, radiation from cell phone towers. Everything is, we can say that as radiation, which is in the form of electromagnetic waves. And you know about the Ferri's black body and Wien's black body too. How they are, we can say that they are the black bodies, means the black body which absorbs all the wavelengths and which cannot emit any of the wavelengths, we can say that as a black body. And you know the best example for black body too as a lamp black or black lamp, we can say. Now we will see about energy distribution in black body radiation. So how the energy distributes in a black body. Okay, so now according to Stephen's law, the total amount of radiant energy by a black body per unit area per second due to all wavelengths is directly proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature. That is, simply we can say E is proportional to T power 4. What is E here? This energy, we have to know about the energy distribution, means we have to know about Stephen's law first. What Stephen's law tells us is, according to Stephen's law, we can say the total amount of radiant energy E, okay, which is directly proportional to the fourth power of its temperature per unit area. We can say that as a Stephen's law. And here E is proportional to T power 4, and to remove the proportionality constant we can write E is equal to sigma T power 4, where sigma is Stephen's constant whose value is equal to 5.67 into 10 power minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin power 4. This is the Stephen's constant value sigma. Now how the energy distributes, that is important, no? So for that we have to know about the wavelengths of given different radiations. So to know the wavelengths of different radiations, there is an experiment that, for example, this is a black body, we can say this is a black body, and from this black body the radiation emits in any different directions, like this the radiation emits. Okay, now two mirrors are arranged in such a way that, okay, two concave mirrors are arranged in such a way that the radiation incident on the concave mirrors like this. Okay, say this is mirror M1, this is a concave mirror, and two mirrors are arranged that first the radiation from the black body, okay, it incident on the concave lens M1 first, and then what happens, it reflects like this. Okay, it reflects like this, and the reflected light ray again incident on another concave mirror M2 here. This reflects, and here is another M2 mirror. So now what happens is the reflected rays again from mirror M2, okay, they reflects parallel to each other. Like that we have to arrange the two mirrors. That means what? They have to reflect parallelly like this. This we need. So we have to arrange the two mirrors M1 and M2. So now we will get the two parallel reflected rays which incident on a given prism ABC. Okay, this is a prism ABC which incident on the given prism like this. So what happens, we know when any radiation incident on a prism, we will get the spectrum, right? So now we will get the spectrum which refracts through the prism like this, which refracts through the prism. So this is the refracted light rays, and we will get the spectrum here. And here is another mirror, concave mirror M3, which is used to reflect the spectrum again to a meter which we can say that as a bolometer, and that bolometer receives all the radiation Okay, and here is the galvanometer to know radiation is entering into it or not, and from the bolometer we come to know that different radiation of different wavelengths are entering into the bolometer as the galvanometer shows the deflections, right? So this is the experimental setup to know what energy distribution in a black body. So what happens here, first we have to receive the radiations into the bolometer. So how to receive the radiation into the bolometer means, first we have to use a black body, and we know from the black body radiation emits, right? So that radiation, that means what here, the radiation emits means, maybe you have a doubt here that the black body receives all the radiation, right? So when the black body gets heated, okay, what happens, then it emits the radiation, right? So when the black body, in such cases, it emits the radiation, what happens, the electromagnetic rays of different wavelengths emits from the black body, and that different wavelength, the different radiation are made to fall on a concave mirror M1, and the reflected light rays incident on the concave mirror M2 here, and then the mirrors M1 and M2 are arranged in such a way that the reflected radiation from M2 are parallel to each other, and here we are using a prism to get the refracted light rays, and those are nothing but from a prism we'll get a spectrum. We'll get spectrum of different wavelengths, and those wavelengths are collected by a bolometer using a concave mirror M3 again here, and using the bolometer we come to know the different wavelengths what we are receiving here. And now as galvanometer deflects, we come to know the bolometer is receiving the radiations, right? And now here from this bolometer is made to rotate on a particular axis like this, okay? So that means what, we can receive all types of radiations, not only these two, we can receive the total spectrum which is emitted from the prism, and that reflected rays are enter into the bolometer, right? Now we'll go with to know how we can we come to know how the energy distributes here, means we can draw a graph which is between like this E lambda and lambda. Lambda is wavelengths we know, and E lambda is intensity of the energy. The wavelengths are different parts of the spectrum was calculated by the prism formula and prism dispersion formula, and instead of rotating the bolometer to obtain different wavelengths maxima, the mirror M3 was rotated about a vertical axis, right? And different maxima were detected by the bolometer we know, and a graph was drawn between the intensity E lambda. This we can say not energy, this is the intensity. Intensity also a form of energy, right? So this is intensity, and here is a lambda, that is the wavelengths. And if we draw a graph for different wavelengths at different temperatures, we get the curves like this. First the curve is like this, okay, which is, we can say this as 1646 Kelvin, right? And another curve we'll get like this. This is 1469 Kelvin, okay. Another curve like this, 1259 Kelvin, like this we'll get 1095 Kelvin, and one flat curve like this which is 904 Kelvin, okay. Like this we'll get some different curves, see, at different temperatures, okay, right? Now what the experimental results we'll get here from the curve, from the graph, okay? The experimental results here, we can say that the emission from a black body at any temperature is composed of radiation from all wavelengths. That is, the emission from a black body at any temperature, that means if we take this temperature, the emission from a black body at this temperature, that means we know when the temperature increases, the radiation also increases, we know, right? So at any temperature, the emission from a black body is composed of radiations of all wavelengths. Here we will get the radiation of all wavelengths. At this particular temperature we will get the radiation of all wavelengths, and also at this particular temperature we will get the radiation of all wavelengths. That is the first result. Okay, we will get the radiation from all wavelengths. We will get the radiation from all wavelengths. Okay, right. And the second one is, what is the second experimental result is, at a given temperature the energy is not uniformly distributed. See here, the energy is not uniformly distributed at a given temperature. Okay, at a given temperature the energy is not uniformly distributed, right? It is not uniformly distributed, and the intensity of radiation for each wavelength increases. The intensity of radiation for each wavelength increases like this. And here we can say the another one is, the total energy of radiation at any temperature is given by the area between the curve. Okay, the total energy of radiation of any temperature, for example if we take 1646 Kelvin, this temperature, the total energy of radiation at this temperature is given by the area between this curve. Okay, the total energy is distributed in this curve for this particular temperature, and the total energy is distributed in this curve for this particular temperature. Like this, the total energy is distributed in that particular curve for the particular temperature. This is very important property, important experimental result of this. And so we can write that energy E is equal to 0 to infinity E lambda d lambda, which is equal to sigma T power 4 anta. E lambda d lambda, which is equal to sigma T power 4. This is the energy distribution in between the particular curve. Okay, and here we can say the next one is another point here, the wavelength corresponding to maximum energy represented by the peak of the curve shifts towards the shorter wavelength, right? So the peak of the curve here shift towards the shorter wavelengths like this. Okay, as shorter wavelengths means here the energy is in the form of microns, like 1 micron, 2 micron, 3 microns, 4 microns. So we can say the energy is the wavelength corresponding to maximum energy represented by the peak of the curve shifts towards the shorter wavelength as the temperature increases. Okay, as the temperature increases it shifts towards the shorter wavelength anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and this is called as Wien's displacement law, as we can say lambda maximum into temperature, which is equal to constant. Okay, that is, as the temperature increases the wavelengths shifts towards the shorter wavelengths, which we can say that as a Wien's displacement law. Okay, so Wien's displacement law is very important for 1 mark. What is the Wien's displacement law is, the energy, okay, or the wavelengths corresponding to maximum energy represented by the peak of the curve shifts towards the shorter wavelengths. Okay, as the temperature increases, the peak of the curve shifts towards the shorter wavelengths as the temperature increases is called as Wien's displacement law. Okay, so these are the important experimental results for energy distribution in a black body. Okay, right.